Hello, good morning, all of you. Today I will discuss about the subject of pathophysiology and topic chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learning objectives. Learning objectives of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. In this case, learners have an opportunity to review etiological factors, risk factors, prevalence, comorbidities associated with respiratory disease. Second one, learning objective is build knowledge related to the patient's experience of respiratory disease. Third one, learning objective is continue to develop comprehensive assessments, monitoring skills and abilities. Example like respiratory assessments, diagnostic studies, laboratory data. And fourth one, learning objective is develop and justify optimal therapy based on the current understanding of the pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and available clinic evidence. Recommended interventions based on the risk factor, status, and progression of respiratory disease. And sixth one, learning objective is define the role of healthcare professionals and the contribution they make to the healthcare teams, or describe your own role and the roles of the those in other professions. These are the learning objectives of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learning outcomes of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Incidence incident First one is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Second one is incidence, causes. Third one is risk factor of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Fourth one is pathophysiology. Fifth one is clinical features. Sixth one is signs and symptoms. Fourth one is emphysema. Eighth one is diagnosis. And ninth one is management. And last one is complications. These are the learning outcomes of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. What is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is also known as chronic obstructive lungs disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, also known as a obstructive lungs disease. Obstructive lungs disease. Chronic obstructive airway disease. COAD. COAD. COAD means chronic obstructive airway disease, and COLD, chronic obstructive lungs disease, and chronic airflow limitations. CAL. CAL means chronic airflow limitations, and CORD, chronic obstructive respiratory disease. These are terms also known as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Next one, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease refers to chronic bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, bronchitis and emphysema, a pair of two commonly coexisting disease of the lungs in which the air becomes narrowed. Bronchitis means infections due to the bacterial and viral infections, and cause bronchitis due to the excessive secretion of mucus, also known as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Next one, this leads to a limitation. This leads to a limitation of the flow of air to This leads to a limitation of the flow of air to and from the lungs, causing shortness of breath. This leads to a limitation of the flow of air to and from the lungs, causing shortness. This is the pathanatomy of respiratory system. This is the trachea, and this is the left primary bronchus and left lungs, and this is the right bronchus and right lungs. These are the parts of respiratory system. In COPD, in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, less airflow in and out of the airway because of one or more of the followings. In which chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, the airflow is less in and out because one or more of the following. The airway and air sacs lost their elastic quality. Elastic quality is responsible for the airway and air sacs functions and the wall between many of the air sacs and destroys. Airway wall. The walls between many of the air sacs are destroyed. Air sacs walls are destroyed in the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The walls of the airway. The walls of the airway becomes thick and inflamed. Airway wall thick and inflamed in which chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The airway makes more mucus than usual, which tends to clog them. In which chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, airway makes more mucus than usual, then cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. These are the following conditions in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Bronchitis tubes and muscles, membrane mucus, and opening of the airway mucus. These are the respiratory bronchitis and blood vessels, air sacs, alveoli. Incidence. It is the incidence. It is the fourth leading cause of mortality and 12th leading cause of disability in the United States. In which United States, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the fourth leading cause of mortality and 12th leading cause of disability in the United States. And in 2020, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the third leading cause of death. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the third leading cause of death in 2020. Causes of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Causes of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First one cause is smoking. Smoking is primary risk factor. Smoking is primary risk factors for COPD. Smoking is the primary risk factor for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is primarily caused by the smoking. The numerous irritants found in cigarette smokes and stimulate excess mucus production and coughing. The cigarettes are stimulate excess mucus productions and coughing, destroy ciliary functions and leads to inflammation and damage of bronchial and alveolar walls. In which COPD, in which chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, inflammation and damage of bronchiolar and alveolar walls. This is the normal healthy air sacs. This is the normal healthy air sacs, and this is the damaged air sacs alveoli. Sacs means air sacs means alveoli. This is the damaged air sacs alveoli, and this is the normal healthy air sacs. And cigarette contains many hazard substance. Cigarette contain many hazardous substance that damage the lungs when inhaled. Cigarettes contain many hazardous substances that damage the lungs when inhaled cigarette. This is the cause of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The second cause of COPD is air pollution. In which air pollution, high level of urban air pollutions. Urban area, urban area contain high level of air pollution are harmful to person with existing lungs disease. However, the effect of outdoor air pollutions and as a risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Another risk factors for COPD. Another risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease development is fossil fuels that's used for indoor heating and cooking. That are the air pollution cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And third one is causes occupational exposure. Occupational exposure. Exposure to workplace. Exposure to occupational exposure means exposure to workplace dust found in coal mining, gold minings, and the cotton textile industries, and chemicals such as cadmium and fumes for welding have been implicated in the development of airflow obstructions. Exposure of these irritants cause the airway to be hyper-responsiveness. Occupational exposure caused due to the found in coal minings, gold minings, and the cotton textile industries, and chemicals such as cadmium fumes for the welding have been implicated in development of airflow obstructions. The occupational exposures cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Infections. Next one caused by the infection. Infection is risk factors for developing chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease by the infection, and risk factors for developing infections is the risk factors. Infection is the risk factors for developing chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Severe recurring respiratory tract infections. Severe recurring respiratory tract infections in childhood. Severe recurring respiratory tract infections in childhood have been associated with reduced lungs functions and increased respiratory symptoms in adulthood. The COPD cause the reduced lungs function. COPD cause in childhood reduced lungs functions and increased respiratory systems in adulthood. And recurring infections impair normal defense mechanism, making bronchitis and alveoli more susceptible to injury by the infections. Recurring infections impair normal defense mechanism, making bronchitis and alveoli more susceptible to injury. Next one cause is genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. Alpha-1 antitrypsin is a type of protein. Genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is a genetic condition. Genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is a genetic condition. Genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is a genetic condition that is responsible for alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, responsible for about 2% of cases of COPD. The 2% cases of COPD by the genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. In this condition, the body does not make enough of a protein. Genetic alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency cause body doesn't not make enough of a proteins. Alpha-1 antitrypsins. Alpha-1 antitrypsin protects the lungs from damage by the protease enzymes. Protease enzyme responsible for the protection of alpha-1 antitrypsin to the lungs, and such as elastic and trypsins, such as elastase and trypsins. Elastase is a enzyme, and trypsin is a proteins that can be released and results of an inflammatory response to tobacco smokes. The tobacco smokes response will responsible for the inflammatory conditions in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That are the causes of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Next one, risk factors. Risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First one, risk factors for COPD: cigarette smokes, occupational dust and chemicals, environmental tobacco smokes, ETS. ETS means environmental ETS means environmental tobacco smokes. And fourth one is indoor and outdoor air pollutions. These are the risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Next one, pathophysiology. Pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Pathophysiology means how to develop disease in body and develop. This is the pathophysiology. Next, starting in pathophysiology, tobacco smokes due to the COPD cause, tobacco smokes, air pollutions, tobacco smokes and air pollutions cause the breakdown of elastin and connective tissues of lungs. Tobacco smokes and air pollutions cause the breakdown of elastin and connective tissue of lungs. Elastin is a protein. Elastin is a protein. The tobacco smokes and air pollutions responsible for the breakdown of elastin and connective tissue of lungs. And alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency. Alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency cause the breakdown of elastin in connective tissue of lungs and cause emphysema. Emphysema. In which emphysema? Destructions of alveolar septa and airway instability. And second way is continual bronchial irritations and inflammations due to the tobacco smokes and air pollutions and continual bronchial irritations and inflammations cause chronic bronchitis. Continual bronch continual bronchial irritations and inflammations cause the chronic bronchitis, in which chronic bronchitis causes bronchial edema, in which bronchial edema accumulation of mucus, in bronchioles and cause the bronchial edema and hypersecretion of mucus, in which chronic bronchitis hypersecretion of mucus and chronic cough and bronchospasm. Bronchospasm means contraction of bronchioles and cause the emphysema and chronic bronchitis, airway obstructions, air trapping, airway obstructions, air trapping, and dyspnea. Dyspnea means loss of breathing and frequent infections. These are the cause abnormal ventilation perfusion ratio. These are the cause abnormal ventilation perfusion ratio and hypoxemia and hypoventilations and cor pulmonal hypoventilation. Hypoventilation means decrease the ventilation of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the body. This is the pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Pathophysiology. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is characterized by airflow limitations. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is characterized by airflow limitations. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is characterized by airflow limitations that is poorly reversible. COPD is airflow limitations that is poorly reversible. Chronic exposure to cigarette smoking is the #1 cause of the disease, but repeated exposure to second-hand smokes, repeated exposure to second-hand smokes air pollutions, and occupational exposures like to coal, cotton, grains are also important risk factors. The important risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease like smoking and repeated exposure to secondhand smokes, air pollutions, and occupational exposures. These are the important risk factors for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Next one is smoking and other airway irritants. Smoking and other airway irritants cause neutrophils. Neutrophils responsible for the smoking and other airway irritants cause neutrophils, T lymphocytes, and other inflammatory cells to accumulate in the airway. Accumulation of neutrophils, T lymphocytes, and inflammatory cells in airway cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease due to the smoking and airway irritants. Due to the smoking and other airway irritants. And once activated, they trigger can inflammatory response in which an influx of molecules known as inflammatory mediators. Inflammatory mediators responsible for the activation of trigger an inflammatory response and known as inflammatory mediators navigate to the site in an attempt to destroy and remove inhaled foreign debris. This is the pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Under normal circumstance, the inflammatory response is useful and leading to healing. Inflammatory response is useful and leading to healing, and in fact, without it, the body would never recover from injury. In chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, repeated exposure to airway irritants, perpetuates and ongoing inflammatory response that never seems to suit itself off. Over time, this process causes structural and physiological lung changes that gets progressively worse. And as inflammation continues, the airway constricts, becoming excessive narrowing and slowing due to the infections and excessive secretion of mucus. This leads to excess mucus productions. And poorly functioning cilia. Cilia is responsible for the air, airway ventilations, and due to the excess mucus productions and poorly functioning cilia, a combination that makes airway clearance especially difficult. When people with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease cannot clear their secretions, the mucus secretion clear by the cilia. Cilia is responsible for the clearance of secretion, and after loss of functions of cilia, the chronic obstructive pulmonary cannot clear the secretions. They develop the hallmark symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Then they develop the hallmark symptoms. Of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, including a chronic productive cough, wheezing, dyspnea. These are the symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease like productive cough, wheezing, and dyspnea. These are the pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Finally, the buildup of mucus. Attracts a host of bacteria that thrive and multiply in the worm. The bacteria is responsible for the buildup of mucus. Then mucus attract a host of bacteria that thrive and multiply in the worm. Moist environment of the airway and lungs. moist environment of the airway and lungs. The end result is further inflammations. The end result is further inflammations. The formation of diverticula in the bronchial trees and bacterial lung infections. A common cause of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is expressions. Expression is a common cause of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Clinical features. Clinical features. Clinical features of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Clinical features of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First one clinical features is chronic cough. Second one feature is septum productions. Septum productions means mucus productions, cough productions, and wheezing, chest tightness, dyspnea and excretions, weight loss, respiratory insufficiency, respiratory infections, barrel chest, chronic hyperinflations leads to loss of lung elasticity. These are the clinical features of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. These are the chronic, these are the clinical features of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Bronchitis. What is bronchitis? Bronchitis results from inflammation of bronchs. Bronchitis results from inflammation of bronchitis leading to increased mucus productions. Bronchitis results from bronchitis caused due to the inflammation of bronchs and leading to increased mucus productions. Bronchs leading to increased mucus productions, cough, and eventual scarring of the bronchial linings. Then acute. Acute means short term. Acute infection of lungs irritants cause acute bronchitis. Acute infection or lungs irritants cause acute bronchitis. Acute means short term infections. Chronic is an ongoing. Chronic is an ongoing serious condition. Chronic is ongoing serious condition. It occurs if the lining of the bronchial tubes is constantly irritant and inflamed, causing a long-term cough with mucus. It is defined as the presence of it is defined as the presence of cough and septum productions for at least 3 months. At least 3 months presence of cough and septums responsible for the bronchitis. Chronic bronchitis is characterized by the following. Chronic bronchitis is characterized by the following: a increase in size and numbers of submucous glands, a increase in a increased in size and number of submucous glands in the large bronchi, which increase mucus productions. Increase the number of mucus glands, then increase the mucus productions, and increase number of goblet cells, which also secrete mucus. Goblet cells are secrete the mucus from the bronchitis and cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Impaired ciliary functions which reduce mucus clearance. Responsible for the mucus clearance is ciliary functions. Ciliary functions are responsible for the mucus clearance, and impaired ciliary functions cause the reduced mucus clearance. In this figure, normal bronchitis, normal bronchi, around normal bronchis, and this is the bronchitis in which inflamed the bronchitis and increase the secretion of mucus. Pathophysiology. Pathophysiology of bronchitis. Irritants the airway. irritates the airway, then excess, then cause the excess mucus productions, then cause excessive mucus production responsible for the inflammation and cause the mucus secretion. Inflammation is responsible for the cause the mucus secreting glands and goblet cells to increase in number. Increase the goblet cells, increase the goblet cells, increase the mucus secretion, and ciliary function is reduced. Ciliary functions is responsible for the clearance of mucus and reduce the functions of ciliary and more mucus productions. Bronchial walls becomes thickened and lumen neurons and mucus plugs the airway. Alveoli adjust to the bronchials. Alveoli adjacent to the bronchials may become damaged and fibrosis. Alveoli adjacent to the bronchials may becomes damaged and fibrosis. Alter functions of alveolar macrophage. Alveolar macrophage. Alveolar macrophage. Macrophage is the type of cell and infections. This is the pathophysiology of bronchitis. Sign and symptoms of acute bronchitis. Sign and symptoms of acute bronchitis like sore throats, fatigue, tiredness, fever, body aches, stuffy and runny nose, vomiting, and diarrhea, persistent cough. Cough may produce clear mucosal, shortness of breath. These are the sign and symptoms of acute bronchitis. These are the sign and symptoms of acute bronchitis like sore throats, fatigue, tiredness, fever, body aches, chest, stuffy and runny nose, vomiting, diarrhea, persistent coughs. Coughs may produce clear mucus, shortness of breath. These are the sign and symptoms of acute bronchitis. Next one is chronic symptoms. Next one is chronic symptoms like coughing, wheezing, and chest discomfort due to the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and the coughing. The coughing may produce large amount of mucus. The coughing may produce large amount of mucus. This type of cough often is called smoker's cough, also known as chronic symptoms of bronchitis. Emphysema. 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 What is emphysema? Emphysema definition. Emphysema is defined as enlargement. Emphysema is defined as enlargement of the air space distals to the terminal bronchus with restrictions of their wall of the alveoli. Emphysema is defined as enlargement of air space distals and two terminal bronchioles with restrictions of their wall of the alveoli. As the alveoli are destroyed, the alveolar surface are in contact with the capillaries decrease and then causing dead space. No exchange takes place leads to hypoxia. No exchange of gases then cause to hypoxia. Hypoxia means deficiency of oxygen in tissues and cells, also known as hypoxia. In later stage, carbon dioxide CO2 elimination is disturbed. CO2 elimination is disturbed and increase in CO2 tension in arterial blood causing respiratory acidosis. Acidosis means respiratory acidosis means decrease the pH of cause acidosis, and this is the condition of alveoli with emphysema and microscopic view of normal alveoli. This is the normal alveoli and this is the alveoli with emphysema. There are three types of emphysema. There are three types of emphysema. First one is centricinar, centriasinar. Second one is penasinar. Third one is paraciptal, paraseptals. These are the there are the three types of emphysema. Diagnostic test. Diagnostic test of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Diagnostic test of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First one diagnostic test is blood test. First one diagnostic test is blood test, and in which blood test can help determine if symptoms are being caused by an infections. Due to the infections cause chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, these are identified by the blood test. And arterial blood gas, and arterial blood gas test will measure the amount of oxygen in blood. The arterial blood gas test will measure, arterial blood is responsible for the measurement the amount of oxygen in blood. The oxygen level in blood reduce, then cause the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. This is one incidence indications. This is one indication of how well lungs are working. This is one indication of how well lungs are working. This can help doctor determine. This can help doctor determine how severe chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, how severe COPD is, and whether need oxygen therapy. Next one is chest X-ray and CT scan. Chest X-ray and or CT scan. CT scan means computed tomography. Computed tomography. A CT scan is a type of X-ray. A CT scan is a type of X-ray that creates a more detailed image than a standard X-ray. In which CT scan, whichever type doctor choose, an X-ray will give a picture of the structure inside chest. X-ray will give a picture of the structure inside chest. This includes your heart, lungs, and blood vessels. In X-ray, your doctor will be able to see. Your doctor will be able to see if client has evidence of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and if symptoms are being caused by another conditions such as heart failure, the doctor will able identify that as well. Next one, sputum examination. Sputum examination is show the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Doctors may order a septum examinations. Doctor may order a septum examinations. Doctor may order a septum examination, especially if the client has a productive cough. Especially if the client has productive cough. Septum is the mucus. Septum is the mucus. The client cough up. Analyzing septum can help identify cause of breathing difficulties and may rule out some lungs cancers. If there is a bacterial infection, it's caused the identify and treated. The sputum examination is identification test of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. ECG. ECG means electrocardiogram. Electrocardiogram. The doctor might request an ECG, electrocardiogram, to determine if your shortness of breath is being caused by a heart condition. ECG is responsible for the identification of functions of heart. ECG means electrocardiogram. Pulmonary function test. Pulmonary function test. Pulmonary function tests, PFT. PFT means pulmonary function tests. Measure how well the lungs are moving air in and out. How well the lungs are moving air in and out. They also measure how well the lungs are moving oxygen to the blood, in which pulmonary function test identify the lungs are moving air in and out and oxygen to the blood. And spirometry meaning the measuring of breath. Responsible for the measuring of breath is spirometry. Spirometry is the most common of the pulmonary function test. Spirometry is the most common of the pulmonary function test. PFT. PFT is the most common function test of spirometry. It measures lungs functions, especially the amounts, volume, and other speeds flows of air that can be inhaled and exhaled. These are the pulmonary function test of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Patients take a deep breath. Patients in which spirometry. Patients takes a deep breath and blows a hard and possible into tubes. Clip on nose. Clip on nose and patient takes a deep breath and blow and hard and possible into tubes. Technician. Technician monitor and encourage patients during tests. Machine records the results of the spirometry test. Machine records the results of the spirometry test. Managements. Managements. Medical managements, surgical managements, nursing managements. There are the managements of asthma. Medical managements. The treatment calls for the clients with COPD. The main goals for the treatment of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First one, to improve ventilations. Next one is to facilitate the removal of bronchial secretions. To facilitate the removal of bronchial secretions and to promote health maintenance, to reduce complications, and to slow progression of the disease. That are the medical management of asthma. Drugs therapy medications for COPD. Drugs therapy medications for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Drugs are responsible for the reduce symptoms, increase the capacity of exercise, improve overall health, and reduce the severity of expirations. Bronchodilator drug therapy are agents that wind the air passes by releasing the bronchial smooth muscles and improve the ventilation of lungs. They are usually administered via inhalations routes, but in rare occasions may be given early and administered intravenously. Regular treatment with long-acting bronchodilators is more effective and convenient than treatment with short-acting forms. Oxygen therapy. O2 therapy is frequently used in the treatment of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Another problems associated with hypoxemia, long-term O2 therapy improves airway exercise capacity, congestive performance, and sleep in hypoxemia patients. O2 is colorless. O2 is colorless, odorless, tasteless gas that constitutes 20.90% of the atmosphere. Or to rise the partial pressure of oxygen in inspired air. Indications for use goals for O2 therapy. To reduce the work of breathing, to maintain the partial pressure of O2 and reduce the workload of heart, to keep the sodium O2 and the 90% during tests. Oxygen is usually administered to treat hypoxemia caused by respiratory disorders such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, hypertension, pneumonia, and pulmonary emboli, and cardiovascular disorders such as myocardial infarctions, angina pectoris, and cardiogenic shocks, central nervous system disorders such as overdose. References. These are the references and surgical management, splenectomy, lungs volume reduction, blue and enlarged spaces air space that do not contribute to ventilation but occupy space in the thorax. These are the maybe surgical exercise. Complications, more frequent lung infections such as pneumonia, an increased risk of thickening bronch osteoporosis, especially if you use oral corticosteroids. Corticosteroids is responsible for the osteoporosis. Problems with that, if chronic bronchitis is the main part of your COPD. Heart failure affecting the right side of the heart or pulmonary, collapsed lungs, pneumatic clogs, sleep problems, and these are the references for the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Multiple choice questions. First one question, which of the following diseases is induced in the umbilical terms chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? The option A is emphysema, option B is chronic bronchitis, option C is lungs cancer, and option D is A and B. The right answer is D, A and B. Next one question. People in what age group are most likely to say they have symptoms of COPD? Option A is 15 to 24. Option B is 25 to 34. Option C is 35 to 39. And option D is 40 and elders. The right answer is D, 40 and elders. Next one question. Long-term exposure to which of the following can increase the risk for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Option A is airborne chemicals. Option B is pollutants. Option C is lungs irritants. Option D is all of the above. The right answer is D, all of the above. Question number 4. Which of the following can help improve your health if you have COPD? Option A is not smoking. Option B is exercise regularly. Option C is drinking alcohol. Option D is A and B. The right answer is D, A and D, not smoking and exercise regularly. Next one question. How is COPD treated? Option A is bronchodilators. Option B is inhaled 5 corticosteroids, supplement oxygens. Option D is all of the above. The right answer is D, all of the above. Next one question. Which of the following eating habits can help as symptoms of people with COPD? Option A is don't eat large meals. Option B is try to eat small meals often. Option C is skip breakfasts. Option D is A and B. The right answer is D, or A and B. Next one question. Which of the following ideas can help you stay active and if you have COPD? Option A is pace activities. Option B is get extra rest. Option C is take slow breath and pressure your lips when breathing. Option D is all of the above. The right answer is D, all of the above. Next one question. Out of 100 smokers, how many will likely develop chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Option A is 15. Option B is 20. Option C is 25 and option D is 30. The right answer is A, 15. Medically speaking, breathlessness or being short of breath is called. Option A is dyspnea. Option B is asthma. Option C is bronchitis. Option D is winded. The option A is right answer is A, dyspnea. Next one question. How many American adults have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Option A is 12 millions. Option B is 15 millions. Option C is 27 millions. Option D is 32 millions. The right answer is A, 12 millions have chronic obstructive pulmonary of American adults. Thank you all of you for a wonderful session.